Hello and good morning. Happy new week and welcome to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. This is your girl Abigail Mensabonsu and I am so glad that you're here. This week's message is powerful and really potent, and I am hoping that you will be open to receiving the messages that come through for you. So let's go ahead and begin. So when I checked in with this week's energy, and before I go into that, for those of you who are new to my channel and new to the Goddess Energy Forecast, welcome. And thank you for joining me. I do this every week. And I really enjoy doing it. The purpose of it is to teach others, those who are interested in learning, how to tap into the energy that is constantly around us, supporting us, and how to use that energy to create or co-create the life and the dreams and the visions that we want to manifest, right? So, yeah, that's why I do this. So going back into the theme for this week, when I checked in, what came in was, and I wrote this down and make sure, remember who you really are. Remember who you really are. And this is how it came in. I was listening. So for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that the master of light that my divine genome or my divine blueprint is connected to is Mary Magdalene. And this year, I've been in full mentorship with her, and it just keeps getting better and better. So yesterday, I was listening to some lectures about her. It was actually more of a channeled work about her. And as I'm listening, I started thinking about all the Magdalenes out there, all the sisters of roses that are out there. And then I started thinking about how it's so easy for people to say, I am Isis, I am Magdalene, I am Kuan Yin, I am this, I am that. When that came in mind, I was like, okay, well, what's wrong with that? Because it is part of the genome, but what is wrong with that? And Mary Magdalene was like, the when you do that, when you call yourself as the master of light or the goddess, if you do that from a state of empowerment, as in like you are empowered, you realize that all the divine qualities and that being is within you, then great. But most likely for most people, when they do that, it's so much easier for you to denounce yourself or demote yourself, and then put this being of intelligence in front of you on a pedestal, right? So when you, for example, if you say, I am Isis, because it's so easy for you to not look at yourself as a divine, intelligent, expansive, all-knowing, connecting, powerful being, beautiful, graceful, powerful being. It's much harder to see yourself like that, right? Or to allow your mind to wrap around that. But it's easy to say, I am this being, because there's this detachment from it that disempowers you. And so, like these masters of light are saying that is not the point. Like you are connected to our divine blood. You are connected to us. We chose to mentor you because we have the same purpose. And you were drawn to us because what is within us is exactly what is within you. We mirror each other. The frequency that they hold is in resonance with the frequency that is within your divine genome or your divine DNA blueprint. You have to understand this. If you're someone who says, I am, whichever ascended master or goddess you're connected to, if you're someone who calls yourself the name of the goddess, I want you to really step into who is that goddess to you? What are the qualities? And bring in those qualities into yourself. So actually the meditation that is coming through, I'm going to guide you guys towards the end of this, will really help you do that. This is about embodying and embracing and accepting those qualities as you. There is no separation. They are what is coming through. It's like they're so tired of you feeling like you're not worthy, that you are small. They want you to understand that you are them. You are them, as in like their genetic, their DNA, the same genetic codons are imprinted within you. All of that mystical, magical, powerful qualities that you see in them is exactly the same within you. And you need to realize that, you need to embrace that, you need to embody that, and you need to be of service in those qualities. That takes it to a whole different level, right? Because then we're not just walking around saying, oh, I'm Isis, Mary Magdalene. Now they're put in like responsibility. Do you understand what it means to hold that genetic codon, to have that activated within you, to embrace that power and be of service in that power? Because that's what the whole point is. You need to move beyond that. Yes, it's good that you've recognized that this is the divine being I'm connected to. Archangel Michael, beloved Jesus the Christ, Mother Mary, whoever it is. The first step is identifying the master of light that is connected to your divine blueprint. Because that master of light is part of the activation of your highest human potential. And part of human potential is about the embodiment of that magnificence. So first step, you've got it. You know who you're connected to. You know who you are in resonance with. Second step, identify all that graceful, mystical, magical, divine qualities within that being and begin to see that within yourself. Which means that you need to know that you are worthy. Which means that you need to know that you are powerful, that you are all-knowing, that you are graceful in your beauty, in your service, that you are an infinite being of light, always connected to source, that there's nothing you cannot create, there's nothing you cannot manifest, nothing you cannot call in into your life. And which brings us to the next step that is coming through, is that when you go through this process, because you are having this divine experience in the human body, most likely a lot of things will start coming up that you need to begin to forgive yourself for. Forgive yourself for not seeing how magnificent you are. Forgive yourself for thinking that you are underneath or beneath some being that you've put on a pedestal. Forgive yourself for belittling yourself. Forgive yourself for the shame. Forgive yourself for all of that emotions that come up that you know does not resonate with you, that comes around, you know, in your true self, your true divine self, that you are divine and you are human. You are here to have both experiences, and you need to embrace that. So first, I want to hear from you. Do you know which master of light you're connected to? So this is an information that you would get through DNA activation. For those of you who've done DNA activations with me, or, well, I'm not sure. There's so many DNA activation modalities now that I can't even categorize all of them as one, because I'm not sure what you get from the other ones. If you're able to go into each of those codons and get the genetic transcription from those codons telling you your divine blueprint, who you are on a divine level, who you're connected to, you know, which archangel which archangel's frequency is coded within you, which master of light frequency is coded within you, how that is expressed within you. I mean, we have 12 powerful codons, and each of them are like portals of information. And through the DNA activation that I do, I'm able to tap into each of those and transcribe that message for you. And not only do you learn who you really are on a divine level, you also embody that because you activate your DNA strands. And so for those of you who've done it with me, you've had this experience. And I have two ways of doing this. I have the awaken, which is for those of you who are new to DNA activation. And what it does, you get 3 powerful DNA activations, and it just aligns you and awakens and activates those strands. So you kind of get awakened into that divinity, into that highest potential. And then the other one is Ignite Your Cosmos. So that one is 12 powerful DNA activations that you do. And through that, that's where we really go into each of those codons and transcribe and get your divine blueprint. So at the end of, you get 12 DNA activations, and you also get your DNA, your divine blueprint from it. So I have 2 ways. A lot of people, it depends on where you are on your journey. Some people come in and like, I'm ready for for the full thing, ignite your cosmos. I'm ready to ignite my cosmos. They dive into it, they get it done. They're the powerhouses, the leaders, the people who are ready to go for it. And then the awaken is like, I'm just started on the spiritual journey, but I know there's so much more to me, and I'm ready to step into that. So the awaken is like, it does awaken you to your magnificence. So 3 DNA activations. We don't go into each of those codons. Sometimes, as I am activating and information might come in that will be from a certain codon that we're in, and you might receive it, but we don't spend time going into each of those codons like we would in the bigger package, in the bigger program, or the Ignite Your Cosmos. But the awaken is, it does awaken you, just like the name. And the Ignite Your Cosmos, which is the 12 DNA activations, does open you up completely to your magnificence, to your next level, activating your highest potential in the human form in your world. It's pretty badass. So if you're interested, if you heard this and you're like, yes, please, let me know. I'll put the link below so you can find it, or send me a message and let's chat about it. If you're not sure which one you're being called to, let's chat about it, and we can see where you are and where you're going, and then kind of match it that way, open that path for you, connect that path for you. So it's very interesting that DNA activation is coming in, because looking at the theme for this week, remember who you really are. Having your DNA activation, having your DNA activated, opening all those doorways or the codons of your divine blueprint gives you details about who you really are and helps you embody it so that you can really be of greater service with humanity, to help the planet and to help humanity at the time that we're in. So it makes a lot of sense that that is coming through this week. So if you are interested in DNA activation, this is a great week to get your DNA activation. Great week to do that. So let's see what else they want me to share with that. A question for you. Are you ready to know who you really are? Beyond your mental limitations, your physical limitations, your emotional limitations. Are you ready to know who you really are? Because that person, the being that you are, transcends all those limitations. Limitations are something that we put on ourselves. We create. Majority of it is put on ourselves, and then others come from our environment, our families, our friends, our community, but they are not something that is divinely put into you. When you really take a look at yourself, you realize that you transcend all those limitations and all those blocks. You are infinite. Let me tell you a story. For the longest time, I couldn't look at myself like in my eyes when I look at my reflection in the mirror. I could not. Like every time I looked into my eyes or tried to look into my eyes, I saw this powerful woman staring back at me. I mean, literally, it would move me to the core. It was frightening to me because I wasn't ready to step into that. Heck, I didn't even know what the heck that was about. I always knew there was something more powerful within me that I couldn't quite understand. And even now, I mean, yes, I can get glimpses of it, but I still feel like it's just emerging. And if you've followed me or worked with me, you know what I'm talking about. Most of the time in my work, that's when it really flows in, you know, when I step out of the way, then it really comes out. Or perhaps you even listening to me, you can feel it, right? We all have this magnificence within us. And sometimes it's hard for us to really accept this. Like we have this inner knowing of who we truly are, but it's a matter of, are we ready to accept that we are that? For example, are we ready to accept that we can create miracles like that we can create change like that we can remove blockages like that we can heal quickly like that? Are we willing to accept that? Are you willing to accept that? And what if it doesn't take work? What if, the work comes in when we're trying to make it complicated than it's supposed to? What is the work about? Because the truth is that it's just about embodying who you truly are, seeing yourself as that what you are, embracing and accepting that you are that. And the rest kind of just follows. It's when we're overthinking things like, do I have to do something? Do I have to look a certain way? Do I have to do this and that and that and that and that and that? And we create all these obstacles in the way of us connecting to our core selves. What if we just sit with it? Know who you are. For example, if you're a Magdalene, if you are a Magdalene, look at the energy of Mary Magdalene. Look at all the qualities that you admire about her. And if you don't know the qualities, if you don't know about Mary Magdalene, go research her. That is if you're connected to Mary Magdalene. So whoever master of light that you connected to, bring that master of light to the surface. I'm going to walk you through a meditation later. But right now, I want you to call them in. What do you love about them? What part of their work, their service, their beingness moves you to the core, tingles within you? That's all I want you to do right now. Just sit with that right now. Because here's the beauty. We can just simply decide and choose to accept our magnificence, our divinity. We can simply begin to just choose, and the rest just flows through. The rest will just come together beautifully, effortlessly. Okay, so I'll leave it there. We'll do the meditation towards the end. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and do our alignment exercise. So go ahead and close your eyes, taking a deep breath in and out. I want you to drop that energy ball from your mind into your heart space. And within your heart, see this beautiful ball of light. Beautiful. Go ahead and begin to breathe into this ball of light. And as you breathe into this ball of light, see it expand and expand and expand. Now, bring your awareness to the top of your crown. Up there, and see source light, and see a pillar of light coming down, entering your crown, going through your head, going through your neck, anchoring into your heart, connecting to that ball of light within your heart, and continuing down through your stomach, through your hips, through your thighs, your legs, out through your feet. Let it go through the layers of the earth all the way down until it reaches the heart of Mother Earth. and it anchors there. So now allow this pillar of light to expand so that you're standing in the center of this pillar of light that is connecting you to divine above and Mother Earth below, all converging into your heart space. Breathe in here. Now bring your awareness back into your heart space, into that ball of light. And go ahead and with your inhalation, taking a deep breath in of light, with your exhalation, fill in that ball of light and allow it to just explode and create this big bubble of light around you, expanding in all directions. Fill in the space that you're in, the building that you're in, the neighborhood that you're in. Expand as wide as you feel comfortable. Actually, I want you to expand beyond what is comfortable for you right now. So if it is as big as your neighborhood, if that's your comfortable zone, I want you to expand it so that it's as big as the city that you're in. If that is your comfortable zone, go ahead and expand it even more. I want you to expand it as big as you can. And breathe into the space that you're in, the space of expansiveness, expansion. At this point, go ahead and call back to you all your power, all your energy, all your thoughts, every single part of you that you have willingly given away or unconsciously left somewhere. Call it all back to you now, calling in your wholeness now. And I always see this like these puzzle pieces coming back in and like clicking into my bubble of light. Just call it all back in, receive every part of yourself. Beautiful. Now bring your awareness to that beautiful bubble of light within your heart. Remember, now you have a bigger one around you, but you still have that heart light still there. And go ahead and breathe in and see within this heart light the light of the Divine Father and light of the Divine Mother, all in beautiful harmony with your love. So what we're going to do, go ahead and send that bubble up through the channel and send it to Source, and see Source embrace it and begin to fill it with unconditional love and blessings and miracles and everything that you could ever imagine and more. And when Source is done, the bubble returns back into your heart. Go ahead and breathe and receive the love and light and blessings from the Divine Father. And now allow the ball of light to now go all the way down the channel to Mother Earth, and see it go right into the heart of Mother Earth, where she also pours in her love, her light, her divine gifts, her presence for you, her blessings, her miracles, all that you ever dream of and more. And when she's done, the bubble comes back up through the channel and into your heart space. And I want you to breathe into this new energy. And with each breath, you see the energy just pulsate and get bigger, infuse in all layers of your body, the mental body, the energetic body, the physical body, the emotional body. So you infuse all the different layers, going beyond the layers of your body. And breathe. You can go ahead and place your hand on your heart as you're connecting. And feel the ease, the flow, the bliss, the peace that is radiating, the radiance that is coming off of you, the abundance, the wealth, the alignment, creativity, prosperity, joy, bliss, love. Feel it all there, within your heart space, within the center of your being. Breathe. And from this space of centeredness, of alignment, of reconnection to all things divine, go ahead and open your eyes to receive your message for this week. And actually, real quick, go ahead and place your hand back on your heart. Go ahead and call in your higher self within your heart. Call in your divine self within your heart. And call in your Holy Spirit self within your heart now. And from this space, go ahead and ask, which of these messages are for me this week? And where do I need to place my energy this week? Actually, I like the second one better. Where do I need to place my energy this week? 1, 2, or 3. When you're ready, open your eyes. Still being in this space of resonance, of centeredness, of balance, of alignment, ready to receive. So we're going to go ahead and begin with the divine feminine presence that we are working with this week. So the divine feminine presence that came through is Hestia. And I believe she's come in before. And she is the goddess of sanctuary. So Hestia is like the flame within the home. She's like the warmth that comes, that is within the home. And the home, we're talking about physical home, we're talking about your heart, right, which is your home, the true home, your physical body, which is the home for your spirit. We're talking about all of this, but immediately what comes through before I even go into the messages is about coming home to self. Knowing who you really are is coming home to self. So let's see what message she has for us. And as always, at the beginning, it talks a little bit about who she is, and then it goes into the message. So let's see, Hestia. All right. Hestia represents the warmth, protection, and sanctuary we feel when we know we are home. Hestia is an ancient Greek goddess of the hearth. Her name translates as fireplace or altar. She is the firstborn daughter of Cronus and Rhea. Her brother Zeus assigned Hestia the sacred position of tending to the Olympian hearth. She is known for her calm, abiding presence and her tremendous kindness. In ancient Greek culture, Hestia is the divine personification of the sacred fire that sits at the center of someone's home, as well as in the center of every town and village. She would receive the first and last sacrifices of each day. With the establishment of a new village, the flame from Hestia's public hearth in the mother city would be carried to the new home. Hestia is the fire that grounds us, the hearth we can gather around to stop our wandering. Hestia is an emblem of the warmth, safety, and nourishment of being in community. Who needs that this week? The warmth, safety, and nourishment of being in the community. She represents that tangible and yet unseen connection between all our loved ones. And she's the calm, abiding presence that can only be found within. Hestia created the concept of sanctuary. It's considered a sacred obligation to shelter and protect those in need. She wants us to seek those situations that allow us to feel a sense of being home, or she wants us to create that form of sanctuary for someone else. Of all the wild and crazy adventurous Greek goddesses and gods, Hestia is the most drama free. She's the one who can be counted on, the one who fosters community and provides the stability of food and warmth and shelter when all else is coming undone. She's your grandmother goddess. She's the energy that whispers for you to just get cozy. Hestia wants you to be 1,000 leagues easier on you. Put a blanket over your body. Curl up with hot tea, sit before the fire of all that you've accomplished, and give your mind a break from all that you ask of yourself. Hestia wants you to let kindness pervade your thoughts. She wants you to light a small fire in the center of yourself and feel safe and calling your body home. She wants you to be able to seek sanctuary within. She wants you to come home to yourself and to give yourself the love that you effortlessly offer others. Hestia is the call to become the calm harbor for your beautiful soul to thrive. And this is the question she wants us to contemplate on. Am I a safe place to be? Mm. Am I a safe place to be? If the answer is no, go ahead and call in Hestia to mentor you this week. She's going to mentor all of us this week. So if you're listening to this, this is your invitation for her to come into your life to mentor you this week. But if this is a no, then you're going to have extra mentorship this week from her. And here is the intention on the mantra of affirmation that you can work with this week. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. So again, this is the divine feminine presence that we're working with this week, Hestia, the goddess of sacred sanctuary. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our messages for the week. So let's begin with card number 1. All right. So if you're drawn to card number 1, here's your card. And it says, this week, focus on raising your vibration. Raise your vibration so that you can step into the truth of who you are. Raise your vibration so that communication between you and your divinity can be open and you can hear and you can see clearly. You can receive clearly and easily and effortlessly. So let's see what the message says. And that's card number 1. If you're drawn to card number 1, this is your message. It's time to move up a level. It's time to fly high. You may have experienced some setbacks or felt low recently, but this is behind you now, and you have the opportunity to light up like never before. Everything in the entire universe is comprised of energy, and that energy vibrates, drawing toward its similar energy. I think this is my card. So raising your vibration means aligning yourself with situations, people, places, and choices that you know will lift you up, support you, and help you grow. When this card appears, you have overcome the darkness and are moving into a time of opportunity. Yes, please. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you can be reborn. Yes, please. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you can be reborn. Know that angels are acknowledging your commitment to growth. You are filled with inspiration now and attracting only the good. There's a sense of achievement around you at this time. You may be receiving documentation, certification, or a reward of some description to acknowledge your growth or experience. This is a time to cherish, a time to enjoy the rewards of your commitment to living with integrity and doing good. You have you have overcome many challenges and risen above adversity, judgment, and possibly even abuse. You are transcendent spiritually and personally at this time, and the universe is supporting you. This is the pathway of light, the pathway of your soul's evolution, ascension. That was a yummy message. So, card number 1. Where should you focus your energy this week? Raise your vibration, align to the people, the places, the opportunities. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, the situations, the people, the places, and the choices that you know will lift you up, that will support you and help you grow. Beautiful. So if you were drawn to card number 2, Let's see, where did it go? There we go. If you're drawn to card number 2, your card is harmony and resolution. So this week, this is where your energy is going to be, harmony and resolutions. Let's see what the message has for you. Angels of harmony and healing are with you to help you resolve any conflicts that have been disturbing your inner peace. You are being encouraged to call in the light of God and surrender any concerns you have so that the divine can resolve them. Your angel guide is suggesting you release any need to be right or to get your point across, for this will only create more hostility. This is a time to focus on your own inner peace. Dedicate time and energy to doing what you can to make yourself feel comfortable and comforted. I'm going to repeat this again. Dedicate time and energy this week doing what you can to make yourself feel comforted and comfortable. Through being more caring towards yourself, you will create harmonious energy that will wash out like a wave to all those around you. Trust that this will happen and harmony will be restored. Angel guidance is encouraging you to stand down from any conflicts that are going on in your life right now. Take a step back to collect your thoughts and breathe. Angels cannot help you unless you create space for them to intervene, and they are with you now and willing to restore peace. They want you to know that they are aware of your challenges and the concerns you have. But unless you have faith that harmony can be restored, nothing can change. This is a time for you to visualize yourself, the situation, and everyone involved enveloped in a golden light of goodness and grace. It's important to know that angels of peace are encouraging you to let them bring peace to the situation. Trust the process. And that's the thing. We humans, we have free will, and these beautiful beings of light respect our free will. So you need to ask them to come in to help you. They won't not intervene if you do not call them in. So if this is your card, make sure you call in the angels to come and help you with any conflicts that you have and any disharmony that you're having. Just call them in, see them wrap you in that beautiful golden ball of light, or whoever you're having that conflict with, see them just surrounding both of you or all of you in that light of peace and harmony. Um, yeah, and trust that it is done. Like surrender into that process and trust that it is done. So that is your card. If you were drawn to card number 2, harmony and resolution, working with the angels of harmony and healing. Beautiful. So last card, if you were drawn to card number 3, let's see here. Where should you put this energy this week? This week, if you're drawn to card number 3, you're being asked to work with your inner child, to bring some healing to your inner child. So the card says inner child healing. And hopefully by now you guys all know that it doesn't matter how old you are. We all have an inner child aspect of ourselves that is still living and still being expressed through this present state that we're in, right? So here's the message if you were drawn to card number 3. The inner child is the part of our psyche that represents our childhood. Everyone, no matter who they are, has had traumatic childhood experiences that may be impacting their life today. And you have endured so much in your life. You are a real survivor. Drawing this card indicates that no matter what has happened, you have found a way forward. You may feel that you have had to grow up quickly and abandon your innocence in order to survive, but know that when you reflect, review, and release anything from your childhood that could be holding you back, the next phase of your life will be supported. This isn't about forgetting, but about taking the time to send love and energy to your inner child and to assure them that they do make it through and become the incredible person you are today. This card brings radical healing. understanding, and love to your inner child. It shows that your guardian angel is wrapping their loving arms around you right now. Who needs that? Who felt that? Nurturing your inner child and encouraging you to unleash your childlike senses. See the world through the eyes of a child. There is so much wonder and opportunity out there. It's time for some fun. What can you do to feel light? What can you do to express yourself? Have you stopped yourself from doing something because you feel you're too old for it now? It's time to reclaim your innocence and express yourself in a way that is filled with excitement, wonder, and adventure. It is time for your inner child to be healed. I feel like this is my card too. So I have two cards, number 1 and 3. Number 1 and 3, yeah. If you're drawn to card number 3, you are doing some inner child work this week, inner child healing. Make sure you call in the angels to come in and help you release anything from childhood that might be blocking you in the present time. Like this is so huge for me. Like when I started this work, when I first did, or when I started inner child work, because it just continues. So you're always co-creating with your inner child. But when I first started, when I first connected with my inner child, she was pissed. Like when she came in, she was like screaming. It was as if like she was screaming because she wasn't being heard. She was angry and she was screaming, and I had to mother her. I had to learn how to mother her, which means that I had to allow myself to be heard, because even as an adult I didn't feel heard. Hey baby. And of course my little one pops in, right? Love is synchronicities. um yeah, so I had to learn how to express myself and be heard. I had to hear myself, because it really, when it comes down to it, it's not about someone hearing you. You have to hear yourself, because when you do, you won't feel the need for someone to hear you. Like when you can hear yourself, when you feel content in yourself, when you feel confident in what is coming through you, then it will vibrate out and the right people will receive it. And you will feel that too. Right. So yeah, that was just like the beginning of me working with my inner child work, and it's something that continues. You co-create with your inner child, because that inner child aspect of ourselves really brings in that curiosity, the joy, the innocence, the adventures, the lightness in life. So the this part of our psyche, this archetype that is us, if this archetype that's supposed to represent lightness and fun and joy is heavy and angry and all of that, how do you think you're going to be feeling right now in life? And in a world where it already feels heavy and angry, and you know and so doing that work so that your home, your being, this part of you is good. When you feel good, when you are at peace, when you are centered, it, everything else around you falls into that frequency. It resonates in that frequency. Like I can feel it just doing that. Hopefully you guys are receiving this too. They all align and fall into place. So it doesn't matter what chaos is going in the world, your world will always reflect the world within. That's why we always say the work really starts within. It really is about what you're creating within, because it will always reflect on the outside. If what is within is good with you, is home, it feels good, is representing you at the core, then it will be reflected on the outside, because everything outside of you is a reflection of what is within. Powerful stuff, right? Yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead and go back to the meditation. So just bring your awareness, drop that ball of light from your mind, go back into your heart. Connect to that beautiful ball of love and light and blessings and miracles that you receive from the Divine Father and the Divine Mother. And taking some deep breaths into it. It is time to remember who you really are. It is time to remember who you really are. At this time, I'm going to call in your higher self to appear to you. So to your right, you see your higher self standing there. And then to your left, I'm going to call in the master of light who resonates with your frequency, who is part of your divine genetic genome, your divine blueprint, who's here to mentor you through life. I'm calling in that master of light, and you will see that master of light appear on your right. Oh, actually on your left. So your higher self is on your right, and the master of light will appear on your right. And they're standing like in front of you, facing each other, and you can see both of them. And they both turn to look at you. So now they're both looking at you. They're all standing in front of you, and you can see them. I want you to just go ahead and look at them. And as you're looking at them, they begin to reflect to you qualities and attributes. And you notice something happening, that these qualities and attributes and what they're showing you is beginning to show up within your own self. It's almost like when you see it, that same quality or that same attributes awaken within yourself. And what I'm being shown is almost like these sparks of bubbles like happening within yourself, or these sparks of light. Yeah, they look like balls of light, sparks within your body, awakening. There we go. Breathe. And you might even hear them speak to you about who you really are. You can ask them, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And receive. I am that I am. I am magnificent. I am whole. I am holy. I am divine. I am human. I am unlimited. I am that I am. I am a physical expression of my divine sovereignty. Breathe. Beautiful. You begin to see your higher self walk towards you and merge within you. And you begin to see the master of light turn into this beautiful ball of light and merge within your heart. And you see that bubble of light expand even more now. More active, more activated, more vibrant. And breathe into it. Allow this to flow into every single cell within your body. Receive the truth of who you are. Know who you really are. Breathe. And out. And when you're ready with your next breath, go ahead and come back to the fullness of your body, better than ever, fully here, fully embodied, and in the truth of who you really are. And open your eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for receiving this week's message. Thank you for choosing to do the work so that you can be more and more of yourself. You can step into your highest potential even more and be of greater service to humanity and this world, this planet that we're in. So the next thing I want to do before we end this is I want to invite you to my upcoming summit, Living in 5D. And if you're on Facebook, actually, it is in my Facebook group, Moon Goddess Sacred Sanctum, and I'll put the link below so you can find it. It is going to be a weekend summit. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 16th, 17th, and 18th of October. So go ahead and come in and join. I have amazing presenters lined up to share tools of how to embody this fifth dimensional energy, what it's like to live as a fifth dimensional being and on a fifth dimensional planet, what that looks like moving forward, because we're going to keep going, we're going to keep increasing our frequency and our vibration. You're going to learn what that even looks like, what that feels like. We're really bringing it into our physical embodiment. We're no longer going to see the fifth dimensional energies as something that is floating out here, because it is really about embodiment. And you're going to learn a lot of great tools and take some really cool stuff with you. And I'm so excited to be sharing this wisdom with you guys. The presenters are really excited to do this, and you are invited to join us. So come check us out. You will have to join the group. All the videos will be in there, so the replays will be in there. If you can't join live, that's totally fine. The replay will be in the group, and you will have access to it for forever until Facebook is no longer there. It will be in the group. You'll find it easily. So Moon Goddess Sacred Sanctum, go ahead and join me, and it's going to be a fun time. But thank you so much for being here. And also, as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you soon. Have a fabulous, blissful, beautiful week. Bye, everyone.